I'm convinced this is the only way to do Mardi Gras in Orlando. The first thing we did was head over to Disney's Port Orleans Resort. And of course, here's another fit check. My boyfriend's rocking the drunk alligator shirt from Tipsy Elves, and I'm wearing all purple. Every year at Port Orleans, they do a Mardi Gras parade, but first we had to take one stop, and that was to get some Mickey beignets. They sell these beignets year-round, and honestly, it's the only reason why I come to this resort. They can definitely get really messy, but if you're ever in the Disney area, I suggest trying them. And once we were done with that, the parade started to roll by. The parade is hosted by Port Orleans cast members, and they always do an amazing job. And somehow by the end of it, my fanny pack was filled with candy. And once we were done with that, we made sure to get a few photos before we made our way out to our next stop. And of course, that next stop is Universal. Since we're annual pass holders, we actually got to pre-register for the float riding. But before we did that, of course, we had to stop to get some food. So we decided to start off with the crawfish etouffee and the shrimp gumbo. And right away, I thought the portions were really big. We started off with the shrimp gumbo, which we both really enjoyed, but it definitely has a lot of spice in it. And then it was time for the crawfish. My boyfriend liked it so much that he actually said that's the bomb.com. And I had to agree. I think this is my favorite Mardi Gras dish at Universal. And since it's Fat Tuesday, of course we weren't done eating. Our next dish was the jambalaya. And it's definitely what you would expect as a theme park version of jambalaya. We had some time to kill before it was time to go on the float, so we decided to go on the Mummy. And since E.T. was a walk-on, we did that as well. And here's my boyfriend fangirling over the fact that E.T. was on his bike. And what kind of trip to Universal would it be if he wasn't giving me a horror history lesson? We then waited for our friend in the Today Cafe before it was time to go over to the float registration. We ended up running into our float leader from last year, and then we got dressed into our outfits. And we ended up being assigned to the King and Queen float. We always make it a tradition to ride the floats on Mardi Gras because the vibes are just so amazing. And I'm not afraid to embarrass myself in front of you guys. Here's me trying to throw a bead, and then it lands back on the float and it hits my friend. But don't worry, I redeemed myself moments after. This is definitely the best part about Universal. After that, we made our way over to Tibby's to have dinner. They're apparently the home of the original muffaletta, and that's what my boyfriend got for dinner. The food and the entertainment are always amazing here. And of course, we ended off on more beignets. I'm pretty sure we maxed out the Mardi Gras season.